I need to get a pillow and a backrest, child. Mm. They ought to see me get a pillow today. This is different. The body needs a little soothing. Ah, we're live
Get
on
that.
5 in new locations. I need to brighten me up. Let me see about that. Give me a little bit more.
What
What we
you
got?
got to say?
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your girl Dizzy, the hostess of What You Got to Say. Of course, I got my crazy co-host in the building. What's up, Mr. Cabana Blaq?
What up? What up? I'm that dude.
All right. And what's up, Miss Kela Mahogany?
Hey, we starting off hot today.
I know, right? Hold on. I think we got an issue with the live. Is everybody's live going still?
Mine's is going.
Yeah.
I have 6 people up here.
Got you. Okay, I just want to just make sure. All right. What's up, Miss Cool Candy?
What's up, y'all? And time to chop it up.
And of course, last but not least, Mr. Tyrone Greggory.
Gang, gang. Let's get it.
All right. So, you know what? Funny thing that little things that stick with people that you didn't think would stick with people. So, the other day, I was cooking in the kitchen, and hubby was in the kitchen or whatever, and he was trying to put something in the crock pot for me. He was like, "You want me to put this in the crock pot?" And I said, "No, don't put it in the crock pot. I got to chop it up." And my husband walked out the kitchen talking about, "It's time to chop it up."
Right.
I walked out the kitchen.
That part.
Like, you are a whole fool. He was like, "Ain't that what Miss Candice says?" I said, "Yes, that's exactly what Miss Candice says." I said, "Okay, you got something to stick.
Yep.
Time to chop it up." So now it's time for it to be on the shirt. That's what we did.
Yeah, time to chop it up.
Yeah.
All right, so what we doing today, we are talking about mentorship and the power of networking. So this subject was brought up by Mr. Tyrone Greggory because he felt that there was not enough focus kind of like in life and in business and so on, talking about the power and the purpose behind networking and the power and purpose of mentorship. I know a lot of people, they like to be, I'm doing this on my own, I'm doing my own thing, but they don't really realize how much having a mentor around can help you, can help steer you or give you some advice in the right direction. So my first question of the show is, how many of you on the panel right now are familiar with networking, and what do you do to network? What helps you?
Well, I'm familiar with networking, and networking is everything for anybody that's in a business. Networking is everything for anyone, period. Be it a parent, anybody. I think networking to me is nothing more than people coming together to build. And you have to find a way to find those people that help you to build the areas that you want to go in, whether it's professionally, socially, academically, politics, all of it. So to me, networking is almost like breathing, really, honestly. So it's helped me, period.
Okay. Miss
I
Kela
like-
Mahogany, what about you, lady?
I think she heard you.
Did she hear me?
She didn't hear you. She did not hear you. She was like, go.
I even shut up so she can go ahead and talk. I was like,
Oh, okay.
What about you, Kela Mahogany?
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm kind of like Cabana, where it is second nature to me. I speak to a lot of people, and so through that, you end up sharing your experiences, because I like to ask a lot of questions about people's lives and what their stories are. And through that, you'll also get kind of what field they're in, what industry, and then networking happens, or it doesn't, but it could always lead to even an opportunity for a friend. And so I guess 100% networking is a part of my life too. I think it's important. I really love to network with like younger people so that I can kind of pass down any information that I've learned along the way.
Got you, got you. What about you, Miss Cool Candice?
I think pretty much the same, that, you know, you do your best to try to kind of figure out what everyone, well, not everyone, but like the people that are in your circle, like what everyone has, that niche, that thing that they are great at, or, you know, they can kind of put people into contact with someone else that has that thing as well. And if you are in a place where, you know, you can kind of speak into someone else's life or put them into contact with someone else that could be beneficial to them, then yeah, by all means, let's do it. Like, if there's something that I'm working on and someone else is like, hey, you know, where'd you get that from? Like, oh, shoot, here's so-and-so's info because this is where I got it from and they're selling this and, you know, they have these opportunities and, you know, they're willing to share the wealth, because knowledge is wealth as well. So by all means, share the wealth, because it doesn't hurt me to not give you any information. It doesn't do anything to me if, you know, if I have someone who's around me and it was like, hey, well, this is what I'm trying to do. And, you know, I'm not trying to take anything from anyone else. I'm just trying to get a leg up, like, okay, what steps in the process should I follow, or what things should I avoid so that, you know, I know there's a brick wall right there, I don't run into it. Things like that.
Right. All right. What about you, Tyrone Greggory?
I think that networking is everything, because I'm the type that I love to learn. I love learning. And the best way you can do that is by, number one, not being scared to fail, but number two, not being scared to listen to people that done it before you.
Ooh, yes.
You see what I'm saying? So networking, I love it. Like right now, I love this network. You know what I'm saying? Like we are all different individuals, but we all got something we can bring to the table and we can teach each other. So that's what I love about networking. That's why I wanted to do this.
Got you. Do you think it's possible to be successful at networking if you're an introvert?
Yes.
How?
And you can be successful, but I think you'll have a harder time because, well, you know, there's two types of introverts. You know, the type that's completely inside, and then you have some that are kind of like extroverted introverts. So it may not be as hard for them, but for those people that are really kind of to themselves and just aren't the type to go out and spark up a conversation with someone, you know, random, whether they know them or not, it may be a little more difficult for them to come out of their own shell to spark or start a conversation with someone else if they're trying to find out some information, or even if they're trying to share something that they've learned.
But even as an introvert, you can sit back and learn so much just by listening.
True.
Yeah, and I think it's also, I forgot it. Don't worry about it.
No, go ahead, Kela.
I forgot
She
it.
said, I forgot.
I was gonna say, I'm extrovert, introvert, extrovert. Like that is me. So I'm learning from my past that I think it is kind of hard for an introvert and even an introvert extrovert, and maybe even harder, because I realize there are just things that you have to go for. Mm-hmm. There are things that you just have to get out there and leap. Like my talent is extroverted. Like it pushes me because that's my gift. But me as a person, I kind of watch my talent do it. So now I am making a deliberate decision to match what my talent does in the future of my life. Like the past, I've seen my talent open doors and allow me to meet people, and through it I was having conversations, but it wasn't like certain friends. I have certain friends that would just walk up to people like, yo, what's up, what you doing, and next thing you know, they got this going on. That is a really great networking person, because it does take seeing something that you want to know and finding out how it is or how it works or what it is. And so that is the goal. So I think that was a great moment to bring up, because I wasn't even thinking about even sharing that. It was just in that moment I was thinking like, this is something that I'm dealing with presently and trying to change.
I think that this is what I was thinking about earlier, that an introvert maybe have to find a way to maximize those opportunities that they do, come to a point when they are networking. Maybe they don't network all the time. Maybe it's just that this time that they do, they're gonna maximize that effort.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what do you feel about so this new, I want to call it new age networking. It's probably not another whole other term for it, but new age networking. Like, I feel that a lot of people this day and age are strictly think networking means social network.
Yeah.
They think it is just inboxing random people, sending them music, inboxing to ask me if you want me to turn if I want you to turn one of my pictures into a cartoon, if I want to listen to and like and love your music, if I want to, it's like there's no, for me that I've seen, there's no level of business etiquette when they are doing this social networking. So random example that pisses me off all the time is, don't post that you're doing something and then tag 98 people in it just so that it can appear on my timeline without asking me. To me, that's networking. To me, you're being a bugaboo and you are trying to maximize off of my target market without asking me.
Right.
So what do you think that does with the integrity of networking when so many people are falling into that trap?
I think it waters it down. I think it becomes annoying to people. And so the people who are really trying to be serious about, let me not say that, because they are being serious about what they're doing. They're just being a little bit pushy, and like you said, not having any type of business etiquette that we're used to offline. I don't know if it's a thing where we have to get used to that and just start to adapt, or is it something that we can kind of mold into something better? Find a better way of doing something like that. And are there people out there that are actually doing it the right way through social networking?
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I feel like, unfortunately, it is going to be the latter and of what you were saying, because we are in a transition change. We are really in something that has never happened before, which is changing the structure of how people live and move and breathe. And I think social media, when it was introduced, it's still brilliant. It's brilliant for people that are shy and very scared, but are super talented in so many different ways, or they're just wanting to have some kind of conversation. A lot of people that have been in the shadows now can live in the light and be able to shine a certain way. But I think looking at social media, it is the new networking. The human social media is a lost art. Is trying to kind of phase out, and I think it's our job as people that understand the human side of it, like the bullet points would be, you get to know the person and you get to build a confidence with the person, and you get to build a rapport that can turn into friendship, not just business. Even though you're not looking for friends, a lot of what the human networking is building trust. Whereas the media networking, it's building just business. It's like, do I like you? Don't I like you? It's
Right.
about, black and white, not really gray. And our young people, I think, have really conquered it. They got what you all want, where human, networking, we're like digging and trying to find, the nuances of the businesses or people that we're networking with. So it's
Gotcha.
kind of like, do you want personality or you don't want personality? You know what I mean?
I think with this day and age right now, because of the way things are going with this virus, people have to resort to just social media for networking, even when they're having virtual job fairs, or like the conferences, or they'll have like mentorships, or even those advertisements for do you want to learn how to flip a house, like all those things. Like they're resorting to just social media because where the virus hasn't gone anywhere. It's
Right.
not better, it's getting worse. And for America, it seems like we never made it out of our first wave because
I wonder why.
so bad.
I wonder how does that happen?
So with that going on, we, are having to figure out alternate means of networking with people that we normally come to contact with, and people that we need to reach out to, or people that we want to reach out to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you have okay, well, I'm just going to do a Facebook blast and tag a bunch of people, like how Dizzy was mentioning. And some people was like, nah, you're not doing that on my page. You didn't ask me, had we had a conversation about it, sure, I could be willing to do that. But, sometimes they just don't have time to sit and be like, if I'm going to tag 59 people, they probably don't have time to talk to all 59 people to ask them individually, like, hey, this is what I want to do. So if that's the route that they want to go, I have the opportunity and the right to be like, hi, I'm not putting that on.
And typically I do, especially if I don't know them. So if it's somebody I know, all right, then let's just say, because I've never been tagged like that from anybody in this group. But let's just say, for instance, this afternoon, Kela got this dope, this dope wig sale, and she happens to tag me in it. Trust and believe, I'm going to put it on my timeline because I've already developed a rapport and relationship with Kela. So I'm gonna let that hit my timeline, and then on top of that, probably also share it so that other people can see it as well. But what I'm saying, and I understand this day and age because of COVID and so on, that we're going to have to adjust the way we market in social media. Right. However, I still feel there's got to be some sort of etiquette, some sort of rule. It's got to be some sort of rule, because I'm telling you, I have blocked more people on Instagram than a little bit, because you're inboxing me looking for a handout. I don't feel like it's something's being advertised to me. I don't feel like something's being offered to me. It may just be the verbiage. Yeah. I've had some people say, hey, I just dropped my first album. Izzy, can you check it out and see? Just tell me what you think. Right? Cool. I'll do that.
That's tagging you and something, be like, check out my new album.
Right. And it's like, dude, first of all, I don't know who you are. You just happen to be a mutual friend to somebody else that I know. Example, I got tagged in an album that somebody wanted me to help promote. And not that I have a problem with cussing, because I do it like a sailor, but every third word was a cuss word. Talk about bees, toes, please. I mean, everything. It was way far left for me. Bruh, I can't put your music on my page. Not in the job that I had at the time. I can't have that on my page and have some parent go to my page for something and hear this nonsense. It might have been good in private, but I'm not going to put it on my page. And so they were doing it so much, I ended up blocking them. I'm like, don't do that. Don't just automatically tag me. Inbox it. I'll give you feedback, whatever it is you need. But we're not about to do that on my page. So go ahead, Kela. You had a hand, I think.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up a point about the logo thing, or the cartoon. Let me draw your picture as a cartoon. Do you guys have you heard or have you seen anything about like how to make money quick? Like, I feel like this is a template business that people take on, and I don't know if it's a scam. I don't know if it's like what it is, but it's almost like somebody said, here's how you can make this money. Go on and DM people all of this. This is just a template. And then like hundreds of thousands of people have it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel it's the same thing, but I'm kind of like, y'all.
3 of those this week.
There's a whole app where you can turn any picture you own into a cartoon. Yeah. So why would I pay you to do it when I can just download the app and do it myself? You know what I'm saying? Or they'll say, hey, I can make the logo for your business. First of all, how do you know that? how do you know that you are able to make a logo that I'm going to say what I want?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To me, it just seems like, social media pimping. Just don't come at me. And like I said, I'll block it, delete the message, and keep on moving. You're not going to get my dollar like that when there's 50,000 other people inboxing me for the same thing.
Right.
I just think that we're in the microwave era right now. Everybody wants to do everything so quick and so fast. Like just listening to the conversation, I sat back and just listened because it's like we come from the era of conversationalism.
Mm-hmm.
We want to shake your hand. We want to meet you. We want to sell ourselves. We come from selling ourselves, selling our business, selling what we want to do. And
a firm take seals the deal.
Right.
Right. Come on.
Nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Like Dizzy was saying, I'm gonna get spammed on my FaceTime. On my Facebook, and I don't even want to buy your business. I don't even want nothing to do with your business. Like Kela was saying, do you want to make money fast? I get tired of these people hitting me up because it's like I already understand it's a scam in my mind because ain't no way to do nothing that easy.
Right.
Well,
you gonna turn 300 into 3,000 in 3 minutes? Get out my face, please.
Let me say this part. Because of social media and because it was already existing, and this is one thing that everybody that does know me, like I fought against CD players, I fought against credit cards, like this was me. Like literally, I was VHS. That's why I had albums on the wall. That's why I was like, because I knew in my mind, we don't know how to have balance. And, right now we're dealing with fake people. Some of these people are not real. This is algorithms. This is businesses paying thousands of dollars to be put on repeat. Instagram itself is controlling certain narratives. When you like stuff, they send people the like. So we're in a matrix right now, to be honest, because the human factor is being messed with because of human man nature, as I say it. We're being forced to deal with desperation on one side, where you have a lot of people trying to find their niche, trying to find their businesses, so they're just kind of doing it. Then you have the other thing where people are just slamming. I've always thought tagging people is evasive. One thing that I want to do is also give techniques. Like, for instance, I am promoting something right now, but nobody knows about it but those that I have friendships with, network with, and I go to their DMs and I not only send them a graphic flyer, but a breakdown of like, hello, how you doing, Dizzy? This is exactly what's going on with me new. I would love for you to be a part of it. Check it out. Let me know. I appreciate it. Sometimes I go even further because they have a voice note on your Instagram that you can leave a message, because sometimes guys that are listening and girls that are listening, women and men, sometimes the text can be kind of vague, especially if you don't know how to write.
True that.
So keep it real, because Dizzy is really hard on people that don't know how to spell and do all those correct things and say them.
There, and there. You better get them right.
Yeah, there and there. You know what I'm saying? So you can go and use that voice note, and then they can really hear where you're coming from too as well, because we are dealing with people actually selling themselves instead of networking themselves into a situation. And that's even another thing that people need to understand. Principle number one, networking is about finding first what you're attracted to that is going to bring you the same outcome that you want from what you see in them. So if you see someone that is selling donuts and you want to sell donuts too, you go to them and say, yo, I'm in the business right now and I'm starting out to sell some donuts and I love how you're doing your business. Would you mind sharing some of the tips or just places that you can go so I can go research? I do understand. Let me put this part in because people stingy. I do understand it probably took you a while to get those things under your belt, but if you don't mind leading me in the right direction, I appreciate you. And that's in a text, and that's in a conversation too. So, yeah.
Right. Well, Sam happened to say
rule number one.
He said it's what we're talking about. Sometimes it sounds like people are trying to take advantage. They see if you have blah followers, and they're like, "Oh, you got people, so why can you do this for me?" And I know, and I agree with Sam on a certain level with that, because then I don't remember how many good years ago it was, but I was watching one day something about Kevin Hart. So Kevin Hart was talking about how before he was getting ready to go into having his own channel, his own comedy setup, he was saying that like companies that he was working for as being hired to do things for were like, okay, we're going to come up with this promotion and we want you to put it on your social media page. And Kevin Hart was like, for me to put your advertisement on my social media page, you know, you've got to pay me for that. That
Right.
is not part of me getting on stage and being funny for you. Now you're asking for a whole other part of my brand to
Right.
be part of your brand, and you need to pay me for that. And it was like this aha moment, like, damn, you know how much money I could have made off of other people sharing stuff on my page? You want to have, I mean, and I trust y'all, I don't have millions of followers and none like that. But it's just, oh, you need access to my pod of people, then there needs to be a conversation that needs to happen for me to constantly do that for you.
I'm so sorry.
It might have been
your
me.
Yeah, they rode past my house.
Motorcycle. Oh God, I don't know. I was like, I don't know.
So here's my question.
That was loud.
Right, it was. So this is the piggyback off of the statement that Cabana just had, because I will say I find myself in this weird position sometimes when people come to me and need assistance about, he said, who at the track? Albert.
Yeah, I just pointed to it.
I see
Look,
it.
anybody look at me pointing, my phone is to the side so I can see my comments like, oh, okay.
I have a difficulty finding the fine line between offering basic assistance to you and then getting to the level of offering assistance to you where you need to start paying me for my brain.
Greenbacks.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
Not
And so
copperbacks.
when does it become, when does the line of networking and doing stuff for, I love this line, exposure, doing stuff for exposure, when does that, where is that point where you're no longer networking, but now I need to be charging you for my services? So I give an example, because Marcus Dupree just actually jumped in the chat, and
He about to pull up.
an example because he's dope. So Marcus Dupree is a phenomenal photographer. All right. Marcus Dupree came to photograph my shows, video my shows in Germany for quite a long time. Me, business etiquette wise, is always asking, so what do I owe you for this? What do you need me to do for this? Right? Typically, Marcus would be like, look, just let me cover the event. Give me a couple armbands for some, for my squad to get in, and I'm cool. To me, that's a successful business transaction. And then he would upload pictures to my site, upload pictures to his site to say, boom, I covered this event. I'm sharing. Anytime somebody says I'm looking for a photographer, I'm tagging Marcus Dupree, so on and so forth. So to me, it's you scratch my back, I scratch yours, so on and so forth. But I'd be messed up if I would let Marcus just continue to do that for free forever and not provide him compensation for the services.
Especially as you grew. Like if you started to make more and you kept him at that level, that,
That's wrong.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is this, though, we understand what it is to be stagnant. We understand what that means. And we don't want anybody around us to be stagnant either. So if I can help you, I'm going to help you. If you can help me, you're going to help me. But that's what the network is.
Right.
But there's a difference. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but to piggyback on that, so as far as the network is concerned, if I can help you, there's also a level to that, because you have to be willing to help yourself.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to continue to pour into you if you're going to sit on the information and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say nothing pisses me off more, but that is like really high on the list. If you come to me and you ask, be like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Do you have any information on it? Or, you know, just kind of want to pick your brain a little bit. All right, cool. So I'm pouring into you all the information that I have. I'm sharing with you the resources that I have, the resources that I know about, and the industries that you need to look into, or where you need to go, what, you know, route you need to take.
Right.
I'm not saying my word is gold and you have to do exactly what I'm saying, word for word, you know, follow it to a T. However, if I am pouring into you and I'm giving you all of this information, I don't expect you to a week or 2-3 days later, man, it's hard out here. Ain't nobody helping me. I'm out here trying to do this by myself. Mom, what? So the whole conversation, that was that nothing? Or what does you even better? So instead of you actually using some of the information that you were given, like, let's say you, there's two ways. You can go speak with a VA consultant that can give you lots of information and tell you, okay, this is what you need to do. This is who you need to talk to. These are the numbers you need to use in order to continue processing your VA claim and go this route. Cool. Or you can talk to somebody who's already gone through the process and they're like, hey, this is who you need to talk to. These are some of the numbers that I called.
Right.
And the information that I used when I spoke to my doctor, and this is what I was telling them how I was feeling, and, you know, sharing with them your experience. And then this motherfucker gonna go somewhere and be like, I ain't doing none of that shit. Oh, don't come back to me asking me for shit else.
Boom, another shot.
And that's agreed. That, and so that I will say that, and I think now we can sort of start transitioning over into the mentorship.
Well, wait. I would have something to say because I want to make sure. It might be in a transition because I do want people to understand there are three things. Since your friend ain't here yet, I was waiting for somebody to pop in, but if
That's
not,
all right.
I'm going.
You can make it. I understand, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So because there are three things that people understand. There's a difference between friendship, partnership, and network. Basically, you know, you have a networking relationship and you have your friendship and you have your partnership. If someone comes to you the first time as a friend in friendship to ask you advice from you, which they know that you have some expertise or knowledge or experience of, then that's a friendship moment.
Right.
A networking moment is when they come back again and you say, well, you're coming back to me again, so that means whatever I'm doing is working, so we need to begin to figure out what the price may be. But we have a problem with that because we don't know our own worth. So only time you can really network, you can't network first until you know your net worth. You gotta know your worth first. Then after that, a partnership is when you get with someone like you did with Marcus, where you have an understanding, we have each other's backs. So it's not about the money, it's about how we can build and network together to get to the money. So I want everybody to really understand friendship relationship, network relationship, partnership relationships are all three different, but they get blurred all the time. So let's make sure y'all understand those three things. It's really important.
So Albert Brunson has a good point. Albert Brunson says, I don't want to point any fingers, but I feel like jokers I know have been using my knowledge and kindness for years that I had to cut them off. Brought one all the way out of the gutter. And you know what, Brunson? Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's self-preservation. You know, you can only help but so much. And I agree with Candice as a mentor. You know, as a mentor, one of the most difficult things being a mentor is being held accountable and holding others accountable.
In what way are we talking about mentorship? The actual mentorship where you're getting paid, or just like mentorship?
Just volunteering
to somebody else?
Right now I'm talking about just volunteering, because for me, as long as you're paying me as a mentor, as a paid mentor, Oh yeah, you can come back and ask questions all you want, because that just ends up for me giving you knowledge for the dollar. But I think what Albert is talking about is that he saw someone who was in need, or someone approached him for assistance, advice, etc., and he's giving it and trying to help them grow themselves, and then they become so needy that he has to cut them off. Like, yo, I can't keep holding your hand.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
Like he's not he's not an actual person that's gonna walk step by step through everything that you want. Like, quit asking me questions.
And this is another thing too. This words are very important in this situation. Mentorship is not a paid thing. It's not supposed to be paid. That's an internship. That's where you go
even
to
interns
intern.
don't get paid.
Even
But what I'm saying is, when people mentorship, when you go on, like somebody says, for instance, when I interned for a company, I interned for them, they were my mentors, and then the company also paid them, but I didn't pay them. I went in for my internship and they were my mentors. Mentors that volunteer their time, they're still getting paid, but they volunteer their time to specific things that they believe in. Because in actuality, if people can just be paid mentors, the ethics of it can actually be conflicted.
Well, to me,
because once you start getting money for anything,
There are paid mentorships.
I'm not saying, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they're paid mentorships, but I'm saying anybody that gets paid at a certain point, because I get paid for so many people that I've mentored. I've mentored a lot, and I've been paid for a lot. But what I realized in getting paid, there is a clear cut, like, yeah, I'm a mentor and I will mentor you. But when you are taking of my service, then it's not mentoring no more. You're hiring me as a service, not as a mentor. Mentor means that you're guiding someone.
Consultant.
But that is still a mentor.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Wordplay. I think mentorship is not consulting. I think mentorship does mean someone taking you on to mentor them. I think, yes, we can make anything for pay.
Yeah.
We can make anything for pay. But sometimes with that, there's a problem of people understanding that there's some things that you do go to that's not considered supposed to be paid. But we can make anything a job.
Yeah,
but consulting is more of the job of what what I see as the right definition of what you're saying as far as right now, as far as mentorship. Like if I go to somebody that's mentor me and I have to pay them, I can go to a consultant. And I'm not saying people say, well, that's backwards.
If you look at a lot of research, they'll tell you should, if you're looking for a mentor, that should not be a paid relationship.
Right.
That is what you get a consultant for, because mentorship should not be technically paid for. That's not what it's supposed to be. If you're paying someone for mentorship, that should be, you're a consultant at that point. Why do you think otherwise?
Because I think that with consulting, you're industry specific, job specific, and when you're mentoring, you're also going into like molding that person, their personality, how they go into things. Like it's more of a holistic approach. And I understand that everything can have a price put on it, but you can mentor somebody and you can be a great mentor and still like get paid for it. I think
so why would that not be a life coach then? Then what is the difference between that and a life coach? Because to me, what you just described,
a life coach
is a life coach.
A life coach, so it would be the combination of a life coach and a consultant. That's what a mentor is.
But see, this is the thing. Once again, intimacy is not business. If you're going to be mentored by somebody, you're going to them to find out the business to become proficient in it before you have to deal with the business. So to me, mentorship is about the caretaking, that you volunteer your service for another individual, as opposed to saying, well, yeah, you can come to me, but that'll be $49.50. It's not the same. There has to be a decimal point where there's something that people can stand on initially. Just like we said, there's friendship, there's partnership, and there's networking. You have to place where even when you doing hair or me singing, everybody that started, they did not start with somebody that they paid. They started with somebody that believed in them. And that to me is mentorship. And that's why I say I'm very careful with those words, because those particular words can get confused with other jobs. Because intimacy, like you said, life coaching, consulting, motivational speaking, like, you know, a motivator, you know, all that stuff. But I know that Tyrone very
there's a business magazine that is explaining what we're saying. I think we're all saying the same thing in general. It's just, and I agree with Cabana when he's saying it's about terminology. So they're saying the idea of paying a mentor misrepresents the mentoring relationship. It makes it a service to be paid for, not a two-way relationship that brings lasting benefits to both parties. Your mentor is someone who is in your corner for the long term, ideally for a lifetime, and does not have to be paid for. Exactly. However, there are several businesses that will have its businesses that have paid mentorship programs. Right. So if I am paying a mentor for mentorship, you are not my mentor. I am paying a service. Exactly. I'm paying for a service. I get the life coach, yes. But a mentor, none of my mentors are paid.
Not yours.
But I have paid a consultant for my business.
Okay, so I've been raising my hand.
Yeah, go ahead, Tyrone. You got
I'm learning how to be quiet. Okay, yeah. I'm learning how to be quiet.
I didn't see your hand. That was on another screen. I'm sorry.
It's all good. But I'm saying it's like we're arguing the difference between a babysitter and somebody who watch your kids. A babysitter, you pay. Somebody who watch your kids, they know you, they love you, they love your kids. You see what I'm saying? We arguing the same fact. But at the end of the day, a mentor is a relationship of care, period. You actually care about the person that you asking to mentor you, and the person that's mentoring you actually cares about you.
Okay. So I've got some 3 people in the box. So they have one person saying, yes, knowing your worth is key. Next person said the end goals are the differences. So the end goal between a mentor and a consultant, the end goals are the difference between what it is you're trying to achieve. Mm-hmm. And Jay says a paid mentor is a life coach.
Mm-hmm. So like the article said, and what I was trying to, or what I did say in my statement before, was that it's in corporations. You know, this is what happens. Somebody at the top of a VP or, you know, a CEO or something like that, and their time is valuable. And so it is still a mentorship. It is a service. It is something where it needs to have ethics in it, because you have to be, you know, an honorable mentor. Some people take advantage of that, whether it's paid or it's free. And I agree with you, Greg, where we are saying the same thing. Somebody who watches your kids for a babysitter. It's just you're not getting paid for it. You know what I mean? But it's still the same, and it's still mentorship.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I think this is a great conversation, because in the past, some of the things that are great, and we're not talking like politics and race relations, I'm talking about some of the lines that were great, they're missing. And I think that's where the confusion comes for younger people, because we do gumbo services now. This is gumbo generation. It's all mixed up together, mushrooms and carrots and potatoes and stuff. And you have to, the reason why we're able to eloquently talk about this is because if you get another set of people from our younger generation, I've been around them, they'll be like, well, no, it ain't make no difference. It's the same thing. We just talking, we just building, we coming together. No, it is a difference. And I think that's the thing that people do have to understand, like there is a line. And even though we can say the cliche, which is great, you have your own mind and that's the way you think and blah, 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 blah. Right. But when we were growing up, even with math and bank accounting and liabilities and assets and debits and credits, like all that stuff has a place. And I think when people understand it, because I was thinking about my first visual of mentorship was actually Maya Angelou and Oprah Winfrey. I didn't really know what mentorship was until she said she was her mentor. So following that relationship over the years, I was like, there's no way that this woman is, charging Oprah Winfrey. And I'm not saying about riches. I'm saying over the years, this person has just been that woman. So I feel like that's why I'm kind of saying, well, what is the word for the person that is just in it. And like you said, it truly is tomato, but I do want people to understand as you're going on this journey, there is differences that need to be distinct, because you can get in the room with a lot of people and say, well, you know, you can pay me for that. And they're like, well, why should I? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I've already given you
And
what,
that's
yeah, so it's an interesting take, but
So
definitely
my
I get what you're
next
coming from.
question then is this: do you have a mentor? And if so, why did you choose that person?
so.
Okay, can I go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. You're one of them, Joker.
Thanks for calling me the Joker.
But I know, right? Okay, Skeletor. I'm sorry, Skeletor.
There you go. I got a whole.
Because you know how she feel about that.
But like you're look, she gotta go get
You know how she feel about that Skeletor, that He-Man
But
situation.
you better believe it.
Building, y'all.
You better believe it.
Honey, that's
But,
how I
like,
feel about
it's just
She-Ra.
like, you know, just to share my story though with that, like you're one of them. Hell, Albert's one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like Kela, I just asked you about something last week, and you told me what I need to do, and I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. Like, but people gotta understand, when you come to somebody and ask them for advice and things, you have to make action to it.
Faith
So
without,
like, I have a mentor, huh?
I said faith without works is dead.
Exactly.
Don't make me jump up out this chair.
but I do have mentors. You know, I have a couple of them. But I've been a mentor. I don't feel like I'm charged. Shut up, Albert. I don't feel like I've been
Welcome,
charged.
son. Albert said
Yeah.
you're welcome, son.
I don't feel like when people ask me for advice and things like that, I don't feel so much like a mentor. I just feel like I'm only gonna help you because you're humble enough to ask for it.
Come on, that's
Well,
a good
we're
point.
gonna get to that question, because that's gonna be the next round of questions. But this question is, why did you choose the person that you if you have one, and then why did you choose? Because the next round is gonna be, are you for someone, and why did you choose?
Oh, mentors don't make it easy because you never make it easy.
True.
Period. That's why I chose my mentors. They don't make it anything easy for me.
Right.
And they make me research. They make me look into myself. They make me look into what I want to do. So that's why I chose my mentors.
Kela, you were gonna say something.
I don't think I have an official mentor, where we sat down and like really talked about what this is, what the relationship is going to be. I think that I have friends who I can bounce ideas off of, bounce, you know, my stresses off of, and things like that. Like a great group of people who will be there for me. And Dizzy is, you know, you are definitely one of those people, because we are very similar in a lot of ways, and you're in the future. And so I like to pick your brain on stuff, because these are things that you've already done, but we also have a friendship, a partnership, and we have that understanding that we can also do that within our relationships. But I don't think I have a designated mentor.
Okay. Candice?
Same thing. I don't think I have a designated person where we've actually sat down and had a full conversation, like, hey, I need you to mentor me. You know, this is what I'm trying to do, or things like that. I know I had one in college when I was in undergrad, but since then, I have, you know, a good circle of friends that I can bounce ideas off of, and people that, you know, we just kind of are able to converse and get things out that we are working on, or you know, hey, this is how we see things, you know, is that a warped idea, or, you know, should I rework it or something? You know, we just kind of bounce ideas off of each other. But it's not like a formal, hey, I want you to mentor me. I don't have that.
Okay. Cabana?
Well, I would say mine is kind of interesting because of me being introverted and extroverted. I mean, Dizzy has been a huge influencer when it comes to business, life, living, and Carlos Saban is another one, life, living, and actually GRTs. Like, these people hold that here. But my mentors were literally Whitney Houston, Prince, and Michael Jackson, because I didn't have nobody to talk to. I was scared to talk to people. And Whitney showed me what elegance and class was about, before, but also, because the thing she said was, they raise you up to tear you down. So I got to see both. I got to see her rise. I got to see her fall. I got to see the ability of someone that can believe in Jesus Christ and not be ashamed, because my faith was strong.
Right.
Prince mentored me about the first male that did not give a damn and did it. Heels, clothing, rock music, hair, makeup. Michael Jackson, adventurous, creative, no limits, no boundaries, bigger dreams, bigger than reality. And all these people got to see live, and I followed them intensely. So I'm the person that's like the gamer, that their mentor might be one of those characters. The extrovert, they may not go to people. They're probably going to go to something that they look on TV and video. So I was literally consumed kind of with them, because I really didn't see anyone around me that related to those type of people, those type of dreams, or those type of things. And naming them now, if you really think about me and you go back and look at my work and look at the things I've done, you can kind of see it. You can see it. So my mom was an influencer, but as far as my mom was church all day, like Holy Ghost, all the other stuff. She'd be like, no, we ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go way beyond that, because it was just church, So I would say those and an influence of my 3 core friends that I just did.
Gotcha. So I do have 2 mentors. Well, hold on. So one person's hello, Frank Olivier. He tunes into us religiously every Sunday from France. I am just like, we need to get him on the show as well.
Hey, friends, we appreciate you.
Every day he's there. He said, life coaches and mentors, be careful, because they often hide a guru. And he said he doesn't have any mentors. He just has his education. And he says, and I guess that's French arrogance to not have a mentor, even with not even an accomplished businessman, businesswoman, artist, nothing. He was like, it may be just French arrogance. So I have certain people that I admire their qualities. So other people are like fans of like Beyonce. There's people who are fans of Beyonce because of who she is in the artist side. I admire her business ethic, her plan, her execution of her plans. I'm not the person that can sing every single song word for word. I don't know all the words to most of her songs. I know when the beat come on, I know the hook, I know the dance that came from the video maybe, but that's not what draws me to her. You know what I'm saying? That's not what
hey, hold on. All y'all get on my nerve. All 3 of y'all get on my nerves right now.
So
we ain't got to do it like
right.
The 3 of y'all get on my nerves. Y'all
I admire her on that level. She's not a mentor for me. I just admire her drive, and I study her drive, because in my entertainment business, I want my shit to be like that. So I admire her, I study her, but I don't consider her a mentor for me. For me, a mentor, when you find that mentor, you have to have an intentional conversation with that person that you want them to be your mentor. Yeah. So that they know that once they say yes, they're being held accountable, and that you are going to be held accountable by that person. And so I have 2 mentors in my life. Both of them are Black women. So I have been a person that I have supervised people in every single one of my jobs since I was 18 years old. All right. First job, I was supervising people. All right. When you step into the workforce being young, Black, and the boss, you have not everybody. There is a tendency to fall into a stereotype when you don't have very many examples of what that Black woman boss is supposed to look like. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So you take what can happen, because it happened to me, I'm not gonna lie. You take on the mentality of a man boss, and you feel like you have to be more aggressive, more prominent, more, just more. And that more that you try to be as a woman and boss is not effective. Because no matter how much more you try to be, you're going to like a lane that you don't fit in this lane. You don't have to supervise and be the boss this way just because men supervise this way, or corporate America says this is the way you are supposed to manage. So I fell into like a trap because all of my supervisors, all of my managers, all of my directors that I had did not look like me. And almost every job that I worked at, the environment was part of the problem. So I was perpetuating the issue because I learned how to manage from other people who weren't managing correctly. Okay. So my first mentor that I took on was my Aunt Nancy. My aunt she was the supervisor, the flight chief of the marketing department for our base. And for some time, everyone that worked for her was men. She showed me how to be softer, but not being taken advantage of. She showed me how to lead like a woman and not lead like a man. Does that make sense? Without trying to sound sexist, but I hope y'all getting the gist of what I'm saying.
No, it sounds good.
Showed how to lead.
Showed you how to lead with poise and grace.
Yes, like you don't have to stand. I mean, not that I ever did this, but you don't have to stand at the top of a desk and yell and scream and be mad and have an attitude like a dictator just because you're a boss. You ain't got to do it like that. So I watched the way that she led her team and how she did things, and I was like, all right, I could do that. You know, I mean, it was so ingrained in my soul. It almost felt like it was a time that I felt like I should not go to work in dresses. I felt like I needed to wear pantsuit. I felt like that because I felt like I wouldn't be taken seriously if I went in with a dress, heels, etc. But that's how she led every damn day. Dress and heels to the T. And I'm the boss. What you gonna say? You know what I mean? So I learned the compassionate empathy side from her. So when I came here back to Virginia from Germany, my immediate supervisor is the epitome of polished. She is so polished, and she knows our business inside and out. And I watched her navigate meetings where we were maybe the only two peppers in a field of salt. And I watched her navigate that room, and you know, sometimes when you want to say something, you be like, well, what the hell didn't I just tell y'all? You want to say that? He had a way of saying that without saying that. And I was like, you know what? That's what I want. I want this polish. And so I had to have an intentional conversation to say, I need you to be my mentor because I need to learn how to be polished like this. I've learned the empathetic side. I've learned that. I've got that with this mentor, but this polish you have, I didn't have. And I wanted to learn that polish from her. And even to this day, she's still my mentor. Even though I've left that career field and so on, she's still my mentor because I needed to see someone look like me be successful at that particular thing. And so that's why I chose her as my other mentor. But I will say, just like all of you, I've got friends that if I need advice on a particular thing, they are my subject matter experts that I call and get advice on. You know, I may think of a crazy idea and I'll call Kela and be like, hey, so I thought about this. Tell me why I'm stupid. You know what I'm saying? and she will. Or, I mean, she won't say, be like, there's been times she'd be like, Dizzy, we not doing that. I'm like, okay.
Right.
You know, and there's times where I think that something graphically, you know, creative, I'm not a creative in Cabana sense. So if there's something that comes across, I'd be like, I need somebody with that eye to look at it. Cabana, can you look at this and tell me, does this look right? He'd be like, that's crooked. This is off center. You can't see this word. They need to change. You know what I mean? And so for me, I like that, I don't know, negative feedback. I prefer that.
Healthy commentary.
There we go. Healthy commentary. I that, and I flourish off of that more than the people around me that are just, yes, ma'am, we'll do whatever you like. I don't like that. And I'll stop asking questions. I like that. So the next roundabout is, do you mentor people? And if so, why? You don't even have to say who it is, but if so, why?
But I did want to say Lance is in the building over here.
What do you say?
He said Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa. He likes that character in the story. Like
yes, Rocky Balboa. Okay, sorry.
Candice, help me, Candice. They going crazy.
Well, first of all, Candice's hair is everything today, honey. I'm living for this hair.
I know, right? She said, don't let me pull out the gun.
Shotgun Mary don't need no goddamn gun.
Boom! Yeah.
Bob and Weed.
Right. Let's go.
So are you a mentor? If so, why? Why do you?
I'm gonna say this. I'm a father, so yes, I am.
Oh.
I like that.
Well, damn.
Don't you
like that?
I got sons too. Daughters too.
Don't you need
a
to?
house of Blaq. No, but for real, I do have a house of Blaq. Yeah, I'm a mentor. And not even voluntarily. Like, I'm not really. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. It's just something that I know that I can do. And that's give what I know, give the wisdom. I'm like a willing vessel that doesn't like to see people be down a road that they don't have to necessarily go down without wisdom. You know, a lot of times we'll watch people go down these roads and we'll see the lightning and we'll see the tree fall and the wheel and all this stuff happen. And then just saying, you know, look, you may not listen to me, shorty, but you go down a little bit more.
Right.
You gotta get your head knocked in if you keep on having this bad mouth. So you need to change your attitude. No,
No,
but for real though, I do that all the time. I do that all the time for real. I just be like, yo, you gotta learn. So I'm a mentor because I feel like it is definitely something natural. Right. It's also something that I'm very selective with. I just don't do it with everyone. I do it with those, like Candice says, that you're coming to me with a willingness to want it and then take it and do something with it. So.
Right.
You don't like when people lack motivation around you, it sounds like. Because I know that's how I am. If you lack motivation, I can't help it. Like, if you lack motivation and I know that you are trying to do something, it's like, I want to motivate you. I can't let you sit there like a puddle of water. I can't do it.
Not a puddle.
I'm like that as well. Like if you are coming to me, I want you to have some get up and make something happen about yourself. Like, don't just sit there and expect things to fall into your lap. Like, what are you doing to try and make your own way prosperous? What are you doing to try and carve your own path? I understand things are hard. You know, you may not know all the steps that you need to take. Cool, I got that. There's people that you can talk to, information you can gather. There's YouTube University. There's all types of information that's out there.
Here, YouTube University.
Yeah.
We didn't have Google when we were in elementary school.
I just became a member.
Encyclopedias.
We had encyclopedias, we had dictionaries, and eventually we ended up with Ask Jeeves. But
and
I remember that.
Come on, thesaurus.
Hey,
don't forget
I'm telling everybody how old I am.
Don't forget the thesaurus.
So,
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, if there's something that, you know, someone wants to do, like, okay, have some type of energy of getting it for yourself. Like, I understand everyone doesn't have the same drive and the same sense of motivation or self-motivation to get things done. And sometimes you need someone that can kind of give you that push. But at the same time, I think what kind of what doesn't really grind my gears, but just kind of makes me waver in trying to help you, indecisive people. Like if you're gonna make a decision and do something, all right, let's come up with a plan, write it out. So you know, you can make that thing plain, so you can figure out, like, all right, these are the steps that I want to take, or this is the route that I would like to go in order to achieve the goal that I'm trying.
Right.
But I don't need you just sitting here looking crazy, like, oh, I'm gonna go, no, well, what if I do, well, how is that gonna, well, what if bruh, I need you to make a damn decision. Like, are you going left? Are you going right? Would you like to go forward? Or are you just gonna sit there like pond water in the winter? Because that ain't how this gonna work.
Come on, say the last part.
You can't sit there like pond water in the winter and expect to, you know, somebody to throw $1 million in your lap and be like, blam, I made it. No, baby.
I made. Yeah, right. Okay.
That's not how that works. So, you know, I personally don't mentor someone. Like I said, I don't actually have a mentor, and I don't have people that I mentor, but there are lots of people that, you know, we bounce ideas off of. And one of my old supervisors, we are all like, we may not talk every day, but I definitely come to her with information or things that, you know, hey, so this is what I was thinking. Is this the right route, or should I rework it and go back to the drawing board? Like, let me know if this model that I created is, if this is something that I should go through with. And then I do the same thing with people that are coming to me asking me for information. We do the same thing, but like, hey, so this is what I came up with. Is this the route that we should go, or should I rework it? Do I need to add, subtract, you know, whatever, to try and make the idea work. But no matter whatever it is, you're still trying to get to an end goal. And to reach that, you got to put forth some effort. You need some elbow grease. Make it work.
As opposed to shoulder grease.
Let me tell you something. Shoulder, elbow grease.
This has got to be shared. Okay, wait a minute.
Look at the chat.
Look, as her unofficial mentor, I got to say, so Cabana and Kela decide they want to play on the damn, on the what is this called? This podcast. And Kela trying to dance with Cabana, and Kela caught a damn cramp in her shoulder. And that's why she had to go off camera. And so look, this is how supportive we are as a crew. I said, you and your old ass. Tyrone Greggory said, I fallen, I can't get up ass. I said, you and your life alert ass. And then Cabana said, I bet you can still twerk though. And I said, that's because she didn't use her shoulder.
Y'all are terrible.
Stop.
We are terrible. This is the problem with us.
We're trying to hold it together while Candice is spitting this knowledge, and we just Like
Hitting.
badass kids in the class, everybody got their cup like this.
Hey, we all the badass kids in the classroom. I swear to God.
Look, Samantha over here cracking up. Look, I know she knew something was going on. I was trying to hold it together.
Yeah, I did the smile like, look, first of all, Albert,
Oh,
he
gosh.
emulates excellence. I would say he just emulates excellence and people gravitate to me. Each one teach one, just passing on what I've learned. You emulate excellence.
I believe that.
Come on, you radiate. Come on,
He
radiate.
does. He radiates. Lord have mercy. So,
Okay.
we have definitely, whew. Sorry,
That was
Candice.
great.
We were trying to hold it together, and I swear I was listening, but when the
listened.
camera went
I
out,
did.
that was it. I was like, what happened?
We was
That
listening.
nerd, honey,
You
she
told
hit
the
that nerd.
truth.
She was like, it went real serious. She's like, pop,
Camera off.
camera off.
You good now?
I'm old. No,
Oh no.
it's spasming right now.
Okay, wait a minute. Well, guys, let's make sure she. All right.
Okay, I feel better, I think.
He said I gotta stretch.
Gotta stretch.
I think this
Nah,
wig.
nah, nah.
You think the wig
Right,
is
you
too
gotta
tight?
stretch.
The wig caused your shoulder spasm.
Listen,
Well,
it's down my back.
listen.
Doing good because the wig stayed on your head when you just stretched. So you just sold a few more just because
Right,
of
let
that.
me tell you
Look, I'm
something.
gonna tell you now, Kela, no. Look, you better put it down tight because she has no idea what people gonna do on the stage, and you ain't lose the whole unit.
Lance said Kela Mahogany needs to stretch more. Hold for 20 seconds
Lance, you are so nasty.
and then relax.
Woosah.
You are
Do some yoga.
So we gonna do the roundabout now for
Thank you,
mentoring and
man.
networking so that Kela can roll them shoulders out. We're not gonna let her stay here in pain. So
Because I'm
all right, so mentoring, leadership, not leadership, networking and mentorship. Last words, roundabout. Tyrone, Greggory, since this is yours, you go first. Cabana, stop.
Oh,
do it and not expect me to do it. We do one show.
Hey, all right, come on. Let me get.
You over there doing that Beyonce. Who's wild girl?
Are we done, class?
Yes, we done. Sorry, Mr. Greggory.
Thursday. All right, here we go.
Okay, so all right.
All right.
Last words on networking and mentorship. Listen, at the end of the day, people, networking is essential to any business. I don't care what your business is. Networking is essential because unless you talk to somebody who done failed and then succeeded, you will stay stagnant. Mentorship.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help.
Okay, Grammarly. Mentorship. I tell you like this. It's always great to be able to learn from someone, but you have to be humble because they will sit you down. If they really respect you, they will sit you down. And you got to be willing to be sat down. And you got to be willing to sit someone down as well. That's my piece on mentorship right there. So, love, do your thing.
Bet. All right, Mr. Cabana Blaq.
This is Lance. I'm sorry.
Yes. More Lance, more push for the bush. Come on. Oh, yes.
Why is he doing this? Come on.
I love it.
Because he loves it. He loves it.
Thing is this. Number one, find friends that believe in you. That is your first networking. Because you can network with friendships first. Number two, if you're shy, if you're not shy, you still have to figure a way to take step two, which is to find people that motivate you to talk and to act and be active. And number three, mentorship, for me, Kela, is finding someone that is going to take you down a journey to your dreams that they've already walked and they've already conquered, and they were victorious in. So when you find that person that's walked, conquered, and did it boldly, they were victorious, get with them so that they have the time, because I believe a mentor, and I didn't think about it until I thought about it. I didn't think about it until I thought about it. It is Sunday. That mentorship is not just a moment, it's actually a lifetime. Because I was listening to Dizzy, and the people that she picked are not going anywhere. So you're going to try to find someone that's willing to be there pretty much whenever you need them, in a sense. Conversations of mentorship, as I would think.
Right.
And overall, like Shotgun Mary says, if you ain't gonna get your beep up and do something, don't come to people, because they don't have time to waste. Time is precious. It is beautiful. And when you waste time, you are a waste of time.
Ooh.
Dang, come on.
And that's on that.
All right, Miss Kela.
I would just say pick a mentor. Like Vanna said, like everybody has said, that is going to be there with you along the journey. Ask a lot of questions, be very open. And then if you are somebody who's trying to mentor somebody, overshare. Give as much value to that person as possible. Because I mean, knowledge is more important than money. You know, guidance is more important than money. And if you give that to a person, like, you can really see them shine, and you can take some pride in that. So I would say overshare if you do take on somebody to mentor. Oh, and don't forget about Georgia. There's still stuff going on there. You know, let's keep watching that. The Senate
They're
race.
giving out death threats.
What?
Crazy.
May their backs be blown out.
As far as mentorship and being a mentor, like I said earlier, just make sure that whenever you do find someone, or you're able to reach out to them, and come prepared, willing to learn, willing to listen. Make sure that you humble yourself, because this is information that they are coming to share with you. They are taking time out of their schedule in order to break bread with you, share knowledge with you, share information with you, in order to push you so that you can attain the goals that you're trying to reach. Essentially, time is money. And these folks could be charging you, or they could be making money doing something else, but instead they are taking time out of their schedule, taking away from their families, away from their industries, away from their businesses, to share something with you. So be grateful, come with a humble spirit, and make sure that, you know, you got your notepad, and that you're writing it down, because you're not going to remember everything that's shared with you. And that's okay. However, if you need to, kind of revert back, or reference a situation, or reference some information that they gave you, you have your notebook. Even, I recall one of my friends, one of my husband's friends, every time he calls, he's like, every time I call you, Dave, I got my notebook ready. He's like, because I know you're going to drop some type of knowledge that I'm going to need to reference at least 2 or 3 times. He's like, so every time I call you, I got a notebook. So even with, you have those, who those certain people are in your lives that actually speak life to you. Those people who are speaking life into your situations, and those people who want you to be greater than what you are right now. Although you may see yourself in a certain place, and there's things that you want to achieve and things you want to attain, but at the same time, look at the people that are around you. If they are not willing to speak life into you, whether they know how to get you to that next level or not, they can speak life into your situation. And if the circle that you have around you is not doing that, you need to change your circle. because you don't want people who are hee hee ha ha and in your face and then they're talking shit about you behind your back. Those people aren't life into your situation, and they're not speaking life into you and trying to see you progress and succeed. So if there's certain places that you want to go in life and there's certain things that you want to achieve and certain levels that you want to be at, find you a mentor or find someone that you can speak to, whether it's a life coach, whether it's a consultant, whatever it may be. Seek out that type of information. Get on Google, type it in. If you're looking for somebody that matches someone that looks like you, Google it. I swear it's out there. Talk to your insurance company if it's something that you're willing to go and seek professional help for. Last week when we were talking about mental health, this goes right into it because a lot of people need mental health or they need assistance in that avenue along with their life. So your life coach, it may be covered by your insurance. So it may not be something where you have to come out of pocket. So do your research. Make sure that y'all are speaking life into your own situations. If it's something you want to do, write that thing out and make a plan so that you can achieve it. Man. It's still a pandemic outside. Apparently this election still ain't over. So socially distance, wash your hands, wash your ass, and stay away from people. And y'all keep these babies safe because whatever flu might be going on or whatnot, if you got a jacket on, put a jacket on your kid. If you got a hat on, put a hat on your kid.
Yes.
Raggedy mofos not taking care of the babies. Y'all make me sick.
And then growled at the end.
Come on.
So my mom showed me something earlier today that made me think of Candice. It was a meme with these two little Lego men on it. And the meme said, wash your hands. The Lego men's hands weren't connected to the Legos and the hands was inside a washing machine. And I was like, I think we need to wash your hands, wash your ass. I don't know how you're going to put the booty of a Lego man in the washing machine, but I'm going to figure it out. And I think it needs to go on a shirt, wash your hands, wash your ass.
With two Legos?
Two Legos, right? So what I would say for mentorship and networking, I think that if you plan on succeeding anywhere in your life, networking is necessary. It is for me, a lot of people, have issues when people use cliches when they're speaking, but I feel a cliche is a cliche for a reason. There's some truth to it. So the cliche is not what you know, is who you know, is 150% accurate. Sometimes when it comes to business moves that you're making, life moves that you are making, jobs that you are looking for, it's not about what you know. Sometimes it truly is about who you know. And I really feel that we should not discount the knowledge, the opportunity, and the doors that can be opened from people who are already in your circle. As far as mentorship, I did not realize how many people that view me as a mentor. And I will say, you don't have to view me as a mentor. I promise you, this is what you get from friendship from me. This is what friends get from me. But I do feel that it is extremely important that when and or if you find the individual to be your mentor, you must make it known.
Yeah.
Because if you do not make it known that they are the person you are watching and learning from, they're not going to understand the multiple phone calls. They're not going to understand the emails. They're not going to understand the responsibility that you have placed upon them. And it is a big responsibility because your mentors then have to be cautious of their of the advice that they give. They have to think on what they're going to tell you. They have to think about presenting it to you in a way that you are going to receive it. It's a lot being a mentor. It's fun because you get to see those aha moments later on down the line. You start seeing the people, your mentees, answering questions for themselves where in the past they would have asked you 50 million times, where they may now start coming to you with their own answers instead of just leaning on you to be able to to provide it to them on a silver platter. So it's definitely a rewarding experience, but it is a lot of work. So just remember that when you're choosing that mentor, know what you're asking them to do. And it is a give and take. So it's a two-way street. So we want to thank all of you for tuning in to What You Got to Say today. And we will be back next Sunday. We don't know what the topic is yet, so please inbox us and put on our page what the topic is you would like for us to discuss. We appreciate all of you for hooking us up this week and tuning in. And this outgoing tune is straight for Kela.
Ow! You didn't hurt yourself. You didn't hurt yourself.
Shots fired.
Go out so I can stretch.
You can stretch right now. Come on, you can stretch right now for the camera. Lance want to see it.
Lance